far as I also observed over last year, you guys went open source, or the Hedera team open sourced, I don't know if everything or most of it, which now obviously, as Milton is stating, opens the doors for competition. Can you maybe walk us through the code base, open source, and all the thoughts behind the decisions that were made?
Yeah, listen, again, I don't want to throw shade, but I think this is something we fucked up and we got wrong. And I'll just be like really candid with everyone listening. And it's one of my bigger regrets that I wasn't more vocal on this. And I was very vocal on this. But when we first started the company, Manson Lehman had actually patented originally the Hashgraph consensus algorithm. And before everyone freaks out, like patented technology, what the fuck? Like, let me explain. The idea was to patent the algorithm, and we weren't going to do a public ledger with it. When I first met Manson Lehman, their go-to-market strategy was to license Hashgraph as a consensus algorithm to large multi-billion-dollar multinationals, like the company sitting on the council, to have them build their own blockchains, to like an inter-Microsoft blockchain or an industry blockchain with maybe like just the banks. Like we'll do a blockchain with just credit unions, or a blockchain with just... And it took, I think, a bunch of young guys like us and girls who came into the organization to say, hey, we see this opportunity in what's happening in the public blockchain space. Private blockchains might be a thing, but I really don't think that they were going to be. And there became this big internal pressure. Manson Lehman had talked about doing a public blockchain at this point, but it just wasn't in the go-to-market. And that's when we really started having these serious conversations of forming Hedera. I believe one of the biggest mistakes we made, to get to the point, is Hedera should have open sourced the consensus bit of the algorithm from the very beginning. I don't see the algorithm as anything proprietary. The algorithm itself is amazing. It's in order of magnitude better than other competing algorithms like Tendermint and other things in the market. From just like a pure consensus perspective, it's totally leaderless. Lehman had done something really great here. But the whole value of a blockchain, like when you look at how do you value a blockchain, how do you value a layer one protocol, it really is a function of the network effects, like how many users are on the network and how much value is stored on the network. Like a phone network isn't very valuable if only Jordan and Michael can call each other, right? Like who's going to get that phone installed in their house if like just Jordan and Michael can use it? But if a lot of people have the telephone installed in their house, this is like Metcalfe's law, the network becomes proportionally more valuable to like the population of the network and how much value they store on the network. And look at it in like developer logic. Like developers, when they're looking on building on protocols, they want to build on protocols with the largest number of unique addresses, the largest number of active addresses, and the largest amount of value stored in those addresses. They literally look for those things. So as the price of ETH is running up, whether it's driven by speculators or not, developers are attracted to capture that value, which is why I believe in 2017, we saw a complete flow of new developers, some good, some scammers, issuing ERC20 tokens to capitalize new companies, but some of them ended up being real companies like Uniswap and things like that on the Ethereum network, right? Hedera, by not open sourcing, it was a massive turnoff to developers in the very early days, and it hurt us. Just objectively, it hurt us. People would look at us and they turn our eyes. So one of the comments, Milton Bates here writes, we open sourced under the Apache 2 license in 2022. That eventually was the right decision. It should have happened in 2017. That's my only point. If we would have open sourced it sooner, we would have had way more developer interest in the project. I think we would have had way more contributions to the core layer one. And instead, it was an evolved decision. I was no longer at Hedera at this particular stage when they made that decision, but I applaud it and I'm happy it eventually happened. Better late than never. I regret that it didn't happen sooner.
I also want to ask you about interoperability and your thoughts on Cosmos in a second, and also your thesis for 2023 and what narratives you think are going to be big. But to wrap up the topic around Hedera, what is currently the ecosystem like? I mean, what type of applications are there right now? Is there already a major DEX? Is it like anything like what we see on Ethereum? What are your favorite dApps on Hedera? Maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so for those that are like coming to, I'll do like a quick primer on how to use Hedera and like where to start. Definitely go to hedera.com. A lot of the links are right there. Hedera just redid their homepage, so you can see There's over 1.5 million now mainnet accounts created. It's actually, they show the number of transactions in the last 24 hours is over 50 million. Hedera, much like other protocols, you need a special wallet to use it. The best wallet for Hedera right now is Hashpack. It's a Chrome wallet. It also now has an iOS version. The team behind Hashpack is amazing. It's a great UI UX. So go check that out. The number one NFT market on Hedera is a market called Zeus. So there's a lot of activity. Zeus.market is where you can find Zeus Market. So Hedera does NFTs. There's amazing NFT communities on the Hedera network. It's exciting to see. Hedera does have DEXs. So if you go to defilama.com, which is a pretty big site, you can actually go check out what some of them are. If I just pull up, let me just like check. Total value locked. Obviously it's corrected, but there's a DEX, a saucer swap. Hedera has a version of Hedera has USDC on its protocol, so there's things being built there. But I think what really differs is you actually have now enterprise deployments of use cases, which is where a lot of the transactional throughput is coming from. So the website I referred is actually not Hedera TPS because that didn't show up. I think it's Hedera transaction, TXNS. So HederaTXNS.com, and you can actually see right now the Hedera main network is bursting 652 transactions per second, every single second. That's right now, and that's just absurd. So you can go check some of these things out. That's largely driven to I know it's Avery Dennison has a use case called Atma health. So this guy Stelios is saying he's staking HBAR on Saucer Swap. Yeah, like that is great point. Like that is there's staking. I think Hedera is paying 6.5% native protocol staking. So you can stake to like the Deutsche Telekom node, or you can stake to like the LG Electronics node. So you're staking to a node powered by a multi-billion-dollar multinational company with good reputation. It just feels much more trustworthy. I run an open source HBAR wallet. You can go check it out. It's based on the MyEther wallet. It's called myhbarwallet.com. So you can stake in the MyHBAR wallet. We don't make money on that. We don't charge you a fee. It's totally open source, totally free. So you can check that out. So listen, I love the ecosystem. I love what's going on there. Yeah.
I'm also using Hashpack. It's very nice. Good UX.
Yeah.